Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here, so remember to subscribe for the latest videos, because today's story is one of those rare and irresistible moments where fashion, celebrity, and spectacle collide, creating a whirlwind of chatter that the world simply cannot stop talking about. And the name at the center of it all is Usha Vance, a woman whose presence has often been marked by poise, elegance, and an aura of sophistication. Yet this time, she has found herself the subject of attention. For all the wrong reasons, as her latest footwear choices have spiraled into viral gossip that no one can ignore, sparking a flood of reactions ranging from shock to amusement, from disbelief to fascination. Because when a high-profile figure like Usha makes a style misstep, it doesn't just fade quietly into the background, it explodes across social media timelines. It gets replayed in slow-motion clips. It becomes the subject of endless commentary and memes, and the very phrase, "footwear fails," suddenly becomes immortalized as part of her narrative. Imagine the scene: the flashing lights of cameras, the red carpet stretching out like a runway of destiny, the clicking heels of starlets making their entrance, and then Usha, confident and smiling, stepping forward in shoes that the world immediately recognized as a mistake so bold that it became unforgettable. Whether it was a matter of design gone wrong, a clash of color against her otherwise polished outfit, or the simple fact that the shoes seemed to betray her stride, what matters is that this moment cemented itself in gossip history, because fashion, as glamorous as it can be, is also ruthless, and one wrong pair of shoes can overshadow an entire evening of elegance. The whispers began instantly. Photographers zoomed in, critics took notes, and fans took screenshots. And within minutes, hashtags erupted across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, with thousands laughing, thousands defending, and thousands more simply unable to look away. And this is where Usha's story becomes larger than fashion. It becomes a cultural event, the kind of unforgettable misstep that will be replayed, dissected, and remembered far beyond the event itself. And yet, as the conversation about Usha Vance's footwear fails grows louder by the hour, what becomes fascinating is not merely the shoes themselves, but the cultural storm they created. Because in the modern era of celebrity and politics colliding with lifestyle and gossip, even the smallest fashion blunder becomes magnified under a microscope, replayed endlessly, and analyzed with an intensity that once was reserved only for red carpet royalty. And Usha, stepping into the spotlight with the eyes of the nation upon her, found that her footwear mishaps became the headline story no one could resist, the kind of spectacle that transcends the moment and transforms into a narrative of style, identity, and public image. Viewers who first noticed the awkward angles of her shoes on live streams couldn't believe what they were seeing. Critics gasped at the clash between the intended sophistication of her gown and the almost cartoonish stumble of her chosen footwear, and gossip pages lit up with captions like, "How did no one stop her before she left the house?" and "Usha Vance deserves better shoes than this." While fashion experts argued about whether the blame lay with the designer, the stylist, or simply the risks of walking in untested heels, the fascination only deepened when the images circulated globally. Side-by-side comparisons, zoomed-in edits, slowed-down clips of her adjusting her steps as though each stride were a balancing act. And suddenly, this was no longer just about one pair of shoes. It was about the fragility of image in a world where every detail is recorded, judged, and immortalized. Social media turned her stumble into a trend. TikTok creators reenacted her red carpet walk with exaggerated shoe fails. Twitter threads compiled the worst footwear moments in celebrity history, with Usha at the top, and Instagram fashion pages debated the symbolism of her choice, with some claiming it showed bold individuality and others insisting it revealed a lack of polish unworthy of her platform. And in this clash of opinions, the truth emerged. Usha Vance had become a case study in how quickly a public figure can dominate conversation, not through speeches, not through policy, but through shoes that betrayed her. Shoes that refuse to stay in the shadows, shoes that have now become infamous characters in the ongoing theater of celebrity culture. What makes this saga even more compelling is the way Usha carried herself despite the uproar, smiling through flashes of cameras, holding her head high even when her stride wavered. embodying both vulnerability and resilience in the face of merciless attention, because while many stars might have buckled under the laughter, Usha embraced the moment, turning it into proof that even in failure there is humanity, even in mishap there is relatability, and perhaps that is why the world could not look away, because they saw in her not just a figure of public life, but a woman whose shoes slipped, whose fashion failed, but whose confidence remained untouched. And so the mansion-like halls of gossip will forever echo with this tale, the story of footwear fails that became unforgettable, proving once again that in the glamorous but unforgiving spotlight of fame, it is often the flaws, not the perfections, that capture eternal attention. And Usha Vance, through this dramatic chapter, has reminded the world that sometimes the moments we least expect, the stumbles we cannot hide, and the shoes we wish we could forget, become the very legends that no one will ever stop talking about.